Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of Campania in Italy. Campania has a very beautiful, iconic landscape. The Apennines roll through. You can see the I and the N. Apennines cutting through this area here along the coast here of the Tyrrhenian Sea of the Mediterranean. It's relatively flat except for one place, which is located right here. This is the Amalfi Coast. This peninsula is very rocky, mountainous, big cliffs, and it's an iconic, beautiful town. If you know, you know, but we'll look at it on Google Earth. This area down here is the Cilento Mountains. You can see the big national park there. Also quite rocky, mountainy. So for the most part, big mountains with one very famous one right here, Vesuvius, which means that nearby, it's on my map surely. I didn't even check to see. There's Vesuvius, and there it is. Pompeii. There it is. The city of Pompeii, which I feel like everybody knows. Everybody's heard of Pompeii. Of course, the nearby city being Naples, or Napoli in Italian. The third most popular city in Italy, sitting on the Gulf of Naples. Here's the Gulf of Salerno. You can see Salerno right there. And there are also some islands here. We can see Capri over here. And this island, which I've heard pronounced Ischia and Ischia. So I'm not quite sure which one is correct. Maybe both. For all I know. Let me know if any Italians are out there, anyone living in Italy. How is this island pronounced? I'm going to go with Ischia. That looks more right to me. Ischia, along with other little small islands around here. And of course, this area is full of history and also full of UNESCO sites. So let me grab my tablet right here and we'll read through them. Starting with the historic center of Naples. From the Neapolis founded by Greek settlers in 470 BCE to the city of today, Naples has retained the imprint of these successive cultures that emerged in Europe and the Mediterranean basin. This makes it a unique site with a wealth of outstanding monuments, such as the Church of Santa Chiara and the Castel Nuovo. Let's take a look at some pictures. Of course, it's not quiet. Loading. Goodness. It'll go in a second, surely. If not, then we'll hop over to the next UNESCO site and wait for this to load. Okay, let's do that. Put a rain check on that. Let's talk about the archaeological areas of Pompeii, Herculaneum, and Torre Annunziata. When Vesuvius erupted on August 24th, 79 CE, it engulfed the two flourishing Roman towns of Pompeii and Herculaneum, as well as the many wealthy villas in the area. These have been progressively excavated and made accessible to the public since the mid-18th century. The vast expanse of the commercial town of Pompeii contrasts with the smaller but better preserved remains of the holiday resort of Herculaneum, while the superb wall paintings of the Villa Opulentis at Torre Annunziata give a vivid impression of the opulent lifestyle enjoyed by the wealthier citizens of the early Roman Empire. Let's see if these pictures will load. Well, it looks like Naples loaded. You can see the big bustling city with a good mix of architecture. Very medieval looking castle right here. more modern Italian looks here. Classical statues, big beautiful old churches and monuments. Different eras of palatial, right? From the extravagant to the medieval towers. It looks like that's as far as it loaded. My goodness. Let's look at beautiful Pompeii and Herculaneum. See the roads there. Of course, we're going to look at this on Google Earth because Pompeii is still being excavated. Probably right now as I'm speaking. You can see pictures of Herculaneum here. It doesn't want to load anymore, but that's okay. We'll look at it on Google Earth. And they're still finding all kinds of amazing buildings that are perfectly preserved. All of the beautiful wall paintings and murals and tiles, everything, mosaics. It's amazing. Here's the Costiera Amalfitana, or the Amalfi Coast in English. The Amalfi Coast is an area of great physical beauty and natural diversity. It has been intensively settled by human communities since the early Middle Ages. There are a number of towns such as Amalfi and Ravello, with architectural and artistic works of great significance. The rural areas show the versatility of the inhabitants in adapting their use of the land to the diverse nature of the terrain, which ranges from terraced vineyards and orchards on the lower slopes to wide upland pastures. And this didn't load at all. Goodness. I've never had this website give me issues before. Very strange. You can do it. We gotta see Amalfi. I won't bring it up in history, but Amalfi was a pretty flourishing town throughout like the Roman era, and shortly thereafter it was destroyed by a tsunami. It has never quite built itself up to what it once was, but now is really known for its beautiful coast and beautiful sights and for lemons, growing lemons. But, oh, there we go. Let's just look at like these gorgeous shots of the beautiful homes on the sides of these cliffs. Look at that. Very, very beautiful. We're going to kind of press our luck to try to load more pictures, aren't we? So pretty. But of course, we'll look more on Google Earth at this area. Here's the Cilento and Valle di Diano National Park with the archaeological sites of Paestum and Velia and the Certosa di Padula. Hope I'm saying all this right. Italian's not my strong suit. The Cilento is an outstanding cultural landscape. The dramatic groups of sanctuaries and settlements along its three east-west mountain ridges vividly portray the area's historical evolution. It was a major route not only for trade, but also for cultural and political interaction during the prehistoric and medieval periods. The Cilento is also the boundary between the Greek colonies of Magna Graecia and the indigenous Etruscan and Lucanian peoples. The remains of two major cities from classical times, Paestum and Velia, are found there. Paestum, which I hope that's how you say that, has a really great slideshow on Google Earth, a couple of really, really good slideshows, so we'll definitely look at that, hopefully if I remember, because there's so much to look at here in Campania. Oh goodness, it's not wanting to cooperate with me, is it? We'll look at them later. Next we have the Longobards in Italy, places of the power, from 568 to 774 CE. The pictures here don't really matter because the one site that's in this region is not pictured in this gallery. But anyway, this says the Longobards in Italy, places of power, blah, 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 comprises 7 groups of important buildings, including fortresses, churches, and monasteries throughout the Italian peninsula. They testify to the high achievement of the Lombards, who migrated from northern Europe and developed their own specific culture in Italy where they ruled over vast territories in the 6th to 8th centuries. The Lombards' synthesis of architectural styles marked the transition from antiquity to the European Middle Ages, drawing on the heritage of ancient Rome, Christian spirituality, Byzantine influence, and Germanic Northern Europe. The serial property testifies to the Lombards' major role in the spiritual and cultural development of medieval European Christianity, notably by bolstering the monastic movement. So yeah, there's a nice carving there. That's probably all we're going to get for pictures. I guess so. But yeah, gosh, what was it? I believe it's a monastery or convent that's in Campania from that UNESCO site. But we will look at this one for sure on Google Earth. The 18th century royal palace at Caserta with the park, the aqueduct of Van Vitelli, and the San Lucio complex. This has some great photos on Google Earth, so don't worry about the gallery. We'll look at it on Google Earth. It says the monumental complex at Caserta, created by the Bourbon King Charles III in the mid-18th century to rival Versailles and the Royal Palace in Madrid, is exceptional for the way in which it brings together a magnificent palace with its park and gardens, as well as natural woodland, hunting lodges, and a silk factory. It is an eloquent expression of the Enlightenment in material form, integrated into, rather than imposed on, its natural setting. You can see one of the fountain statue areas here. There's a lot of fountains and lakes on this property, and they're all incredibly beautiful, of course. So we'll take a look at them on Google Earth. Don't worry about the gallery not loading. My goodness, I'm gonna have to just invest in a Wi-Fi extender for my office because it's getting worse and worse. I don't know what it is. But nevertheless, let's talk about the history of Campania. So, like we've already kind of sort of read, this area was inhabited by the Greeks. Many of the cities and towns here were first established by them. There's also the Etruscans as well, but mostly Greeks from what I understand. Capua being Capua being like one of the main major cities of this time. Naples being founded around 600 BCE by the Greeks. In the 5th century, this area was conquered by the Samnites. The Samnites would later become subjugated by Rome, which is not terribly far off. Can you see Rome up there? It's right here between the I and T. Which would slowly but surely absorb it into the Roman Empire as a province. And that was when they would build all kinds of little lavish towns along the sea here, including, of course, Pompeii and Herculaneum, which after an eruption of Mount Vesuvius would bury the town in pyroclastic flow and volcanic ash in the year 79 CE, perfectly preserving it today. I will warn you when we look at Google Earth that you will see what are actually plaster casts of people in their last moments. There will be a little warning if that's a bit disturbing for you. Totally understand if it is. But yeah, people were just covered like instantly as they were, and it could be a little horrifying to look at. So just heads up about that. This area was invaded by a lot of people throughout history. I guess starting with the Samnites, right? Taken over by the Romans, which would be invaded later by the Goths, I think mainly the Visigoths. The Byzantines would invade the land from them. Then the Lombards would come and invade. If you can't tell, I'm glossing over a lot. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to link up in the corner there my Italy playlist, because not long ago I covered Calabria, just down there in the toe of the boot. A lot of this history overlaps with Calabria, so You can check out those videos as well. But if you're new to this channel, first of all, welcome. Second of all, we gloss over a lot of history just to save some time. So, speed running the invasions of this area. Where were we? The Lombards? The Saracens would launch a few attacks along the coast here. Saracens being, I guess, Arab peoples, or at least Muslim peoples from North Africa, just across the Mediterranean Sea there. The Normans would invade, as in, yes, the Normans who would go on to invade England. The people here actually hired the Saracens to attack, to try to drive the Normans out. That didn't quite work. Eventually, this area here, all along this area, Sicily is just down here, and Calabria, which we talked about, would become part of the Kingdom of Sicily, ruled on the island of Sicily, but would break apart in the year 1282 to form the Kingdom of Naples. Obviously ruled from Napoli. So many different powers ruled over the Kingdom of Naples. There were the Hohenstaufens, the Angevins, the Aragon in Spanish, the Aragonese, which would turn into the Habsburgs, the Spanish Habsburgs, which would eventually turn into the Spanish Bourbons over time. Really just speed running history here. Just know that many different royal houses ruled over the Kingdom of Naples, passing through marriage and inheritances and such. But this area would get invaded once again in 1798 by Napoleon, and it would be ruled over until his downfall in 1815. In 1816, the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies was formed, again joining with Sicily down there, and that kingdom would reign until the unification of Italy. Garibaldi would march into Naples in 1860. By 1861, Campania had united with Italy, or the country that we know today as Italy. Now, if you think, oh boy, that was a lot of invasions, surely there isn't one more, you'd be wrong. We have one more invasion. During World War II, Naples was the most bombed city in Italy. A lot of the beautiful ancient buildings were destroyed at that time, and many of them have not been rebuilt or restored to their former glory, which is pretty sad. But in 1943, the Allies would invade through Salerno here in Operation Avalanche to, I guess, liberate Italy from the fascists, which would be a success. Would lead to some turmoil, the end of World War II here in the area, trying to figure out if they're going to become their own thing again or rejoin Italy. But Italy, spoiler alert, Italy would be perfectly fine after that. In terms of unification, at least. There have been some natural disasters in the 20th century. The last time Vesuvius erupted was 1944. We really hope that nothing like Pompeii happens ever again, because this area is extremely populated. And there was also a very large earthquake in 1980 that destroyed even more of the historic areas of Naples that still haven't been rebuilt or restored completely. But in a nutshell, that's pretty much the history of Campania. Hope you can see it there. Campania, Campania. Pizza was invented in Naples. My number one favorite food of all time. I'm a sucker for pizza. I'll eat any type of pizza. Although Chicago deep dish is my least favorite. Not that I wouldn't eat it. It's my least favorite. My most favorite is New York style. Margarita pizza, which is what was invented in Naples, is very good, but I like a lot of cheese on my pizza. I like extra. I like Detroit style. I like St. Louis style. I love pizza. I also read that spaghetti was invented in Campania. I don't know if that's true. I did actually make a bolognese tonight for dinner for my family. That's a complete coincidence, I just realized. But obviously that was invented in Bologna, not in Campania. But yeah, lots of good food here. Of course, it's Italy. And lots of beautiful sights. So I think we should go look at some of them on Google Earth. How about you? Let's hop over to my tablet. I'm going to use the transition turning off the lights to go stand by my router and load up Google Earth. So that hopefully it goes a little faster while we're looking at it. So let me do that and we'll check out Campania on Google Earth. Here we are in Campania. Let's start by zooming out so you can see exactly where we are in the world. Italy is probably the easiest country to find on the globe, shaped like a big old boot, sticking into the Mediterranean Sea, kicking Sicily down here. But of course we are in Europe. You can see the Alps right there. And we got France, there's Greece over here, there's Spain over here. We got Sardinia over there, Corsica, so on and so forth. We all know where Italy is. I don't need to describe where Italy is. So let's, of course, start over in Naples. Big, beautiful, bustling city. I think let's start maybe Castelnuovo. The old castle here, built by the 1279. Maybe built by the Normans. It looks kind of Norman-y. Big beautiful castle. A lot of like the old-timey castles will be either by the Lombards or the Normans, but eventually, of course, by the Angevin. Later the Aragonese. There's lots of Spanish areas here because it was ruled by Spain for a very long time until Napoleon invaded. We have, goodness, there's so many areas. Where should we start? What was it? Was the I'm blanking. There's some Lombard I see. Monumental Sant'Anna dei Lombardi, ancient church, central Naples. Let's check it out. We're reading a bit about that Lombard architecture on UNESCO, weren't we? It's interesting. Yeah, stuff like this. It's quite Lombardy, I suppose. But I was thinking about showing you. My bad. Oh, I could show you this big hill. Look at that. With the big castle up there. Oh, that's what okay. I think that's what I wanted to show you. But we can see Vesuvius over there. Very distinct mountain. And this ancient fortress castle with the little churchy area there. You can see the whole city from up here. Isn't that neat? Whoa, that's weird. Weird helmet thing. And of course the Bay of Naples down below. Oh, that's San Marino. That's right. Let's take a peek. That wasn't what I wanted to show you, but close enough. Big, beautiful church, chapel, skull. You gotta have your skull statues. Whatever this is, that's weird. It is a diorama, and people, I think it's showing like the rapture. I think people are flying away. I don't know what they're showing there. Let me just type it in, because maybe I think it's over here, but it's not popping up. Close enough. One second. The big famous church. The big famous church. Oh, we'll have to look at the archaeological museum in a second. What? Monasterio. Is that it? That's the cafe. We want to look at the actual one. No, that's not it either. My goodness. Well, I guess I'll have to pull the old... You'll have to come find yours. The theater. The palazzo. I'll take a look here. Isn't it over in this part of the town? There's the castle. Anyway, here's the royal palace, the palazzo. Gorgeous. I say that, but we're gonna go look at Caserta in a minute, and that's even more gorgeous. But, you know, it's all iconic and such. Definitely outshines the other castle nearby. Oh, how pretty. Little clock there. Looks like a little Marie Antoinette on top. Pretty, pretty. Okay, I just cut for a minute because I was like, where is this place? And it's over here, but it's like not there. Of course, now when I was right. Okay. This is what I wanted to show you. This Santa Chiara Monastery is what it was called. All beautiful and lovely. The weird little dioramas in it as well. And there's a big museum for it over here. That's not what I wanted to show. Holy moly. This right here. Which has a better slideshow in my opinion of some of the cool stuff from times past, including the weird dioramas, little statuettes and things, beautiful gardens and fountains, little knickknacks from across the ages. Pretty neat. But yeah, that was aggravating. That took ages for it to show up. My goodness. But yeah, archaeology museum, I promised you. Up here. Let's take a look. Beautiful statues. Very beautiful statues. That's weird. That's, I don't know what that is. I mean, it's obviously a statue of someone or something. But I'm not sure what. All the other statues are very beautiful. Here's this very famous image here of Alexander the Great. And there's Darius up there. This is the only depiction of Alexander from antiquity. This is like most likely what he looked like. So that's a very famous image right there. That is highly likely what he looked like. Pretty cool. It's too bad that most of that mosaic is missing, isn't it? But yeah, very, very cool. I would love to go to that museum someday. Nearby, look at this big old imposing pimple right here. It's Mount Vesuvius. There's lots of good slideshows for it. Mount Vesuvius. Very infamous volcano. Look, it looks all smoky right there. I don't know if that's a cloud or what. Oh, it's definitely smoky. Very active volcano. There are lots of really cool volcanoes along Italy's coast. But I think this is the most notorious one besides like Stromboli and Etna. Ooh, that's weird. A big face. Big ancient face. But yeah, look at that perfect volcano. It's like if you asked a little kid to draw a picture of a volcano, they would draw this exactly. Which means, of course, it's time to go look at Pompeii. Let's go find it. It's the Villa Poppaea. I think Pompeii's house was in Herculaneum, right? Villa Poppaea, ancient luxurious Roman seaside Poppea was not a respected person in Rome, so she spent a lot of time down here. But yeah. Let's look at Pompeii. Now the museum is like up here. Right? That's the Vesuvius Museum. Is that? I thought the official Pompeii Museum was a little bit farther off. Like up here. Maybe that is it. But anyway. You can see all the little various villas around here. Let's take a look. So, warning that we are probably going to see, okay, this isn't it. But we'll go look at Pompeii itself. What happened to the museum? Maybe it is nearby. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I don't know. But here's Pompeii as it looks today. Like I said, still being excavated. Oh, look, it's in 3D. Nice, Google. What's left of this city? Pretty remarkable. Big, bustling city here, Pompeii. Let's look at it in 3D. Wow. It's completely destroyed in an instant. Pyroclastic flows are no joke. No joke. Mount St. Helens had a pyroclastic flow as well. It's basically like a big, like it's not smoke, but it's chemicals from the volcano just swooping down, and it's like an insta-death. It's pretty bad. Which one should we look at? Well, actually what I need to show you is the House of Mysteries. Named so, it's come up a lot in History Magazine because the frescoes are so preserved, but we don't know what it's depicting. It's some kind of cult initiation, but we don't know for what. I assume Bacchus. But it's all women, and some weird paintings happening in this house. Oh, there's one of the bodies there, which again, they're not the actual, like what was left of that person is long gone. But since it was buried, they poured plaster in and filled it in with plaster, like a little plaster cast. So it's still pretty disturbing, though. Villa of Mystery. A random spot. How about the theater? Pompeii's theater here. Amazing. Roman theaters always fascinate me. I think it's neat that a lot of them are still used. I'm pretty sure Pompeii's isn't because it's an archaeological site. But many Roman theaters around the world are still in use. Sorry, I meant to warn you about the plaster cast people, but I guess those ones weren't as bad. Where is the actual museum? Because this one just shows Pompeii. I guess we'll look at this one too. It's pretty great. Kind of gives you a good perspective around the town. And yeah, you can wander these streets today and imagine what life was once like on that very fateful day. It's pretty eerie, isn't it? But also kind of a miracle that it's so preserved, because look at these beautiful floors here. Big statues and gardens and things. Pretty remarkable. Where did the Pompeii Archaeological Park, Pompeii Ruins. Now let's do Pompeii Museum. Musée de Pompeii. It's in Naples? There it is. Okay, so I was probably thinking of the Vesuvius. What in the... no. This isn't it. No, okay. No, there's a museum nearby. Am I imagining it? Did I hallucinate it? Is it in Naples? No. Did I imagine it? No, because I saw the slideshow and everything. It was like outside the city. I promise you. Oh my gosh. Is it this? Yes. Oh my gosh. I was about to like, did I? Mandela effect, the Pompeii Museum? Okay. Here we go. And again, warning for Pompeii people. Like these people here who clearly were in distress in their last moments. You can even see their faces there. Pretty eerie. Pretty eerie. But yeah, beautiful statues, the artwork. It's been preserved, all the pottery. Pretty amazing. A cool statue. This cool Sphinx statue. Beautiful art. Look at all this pottery. There's so many bowls and big urns and things. So much. Little, looks like little scarab things. Jewelry. Pretty remarkable. Alright, we're done looking at Pompeii. You get the gist. Pompeii is amazing. Oh, there's the Torre Annunziata, which is also part of UNESCO after I said we're done looking at it. Here's the area here. But I don't think it's going to show any of the archaeology that I mentioned. But it's so pretty, isn't it? Look at that. Let's head over to Amalfi, the Amalfi Coast. So you can see this little mountainous peninsula here that I mentioned. And over here is Amalfi, which I think if I just, oh my gosh, well that also works, the Amalfi Coast slideshow. Like I feel like this is very recognizable, right? Like you've seen pictures of this place at least once in your life. It's iconic. The big cliffs here, the beautiful town. Of course, I'm sure the food slaps. Look how gorgeous. Oh, so pretty. So quaint. A pretty church there. Beautiful courtyards. Look at all that. It looks like Moorish style architecture too. But yeah, I really want to show you just like the Amalfi slideshow. But of course Can we stop? Cooperate with me. Thank you. Just this slideshow. Because, like, iconic, beautiful, stunning. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. I don't know. Is there a place in Italy more beautiful than this? I don't know. There's some beautiful places in Italy. Is there any more beautiful than this? And you can really see here on Google Earth, if I turn on the 3D, you can see all the big cliffs. I think it's actually easier in 2D to really admire, like, just how big these cliffs are. And of course, there's all kinds of neat stuff up at the top. Little monuments and churches and little hotels. But yeah, it is big, craggy cliffs. Big, beautiful. And then, of course, there's all kinds of little farms and things, little villas. The Amalfi Lemon experience is right there. All built into the sides of these hills. It's pretty remarkable. The Lemons and Sun apartment. That sounds nice to stay at. I'm sure it's very expensive to stay there, though. Yeah, gorgeous area there. Let's hop down to, well, there's Salerno. I think, Google Earth. I'm getting a little annoyed. There we go. How I tap on something and it vanishes instantly. There's not much I wanted to show you here, but it is a really pretty city. Look at the beautiful coastline and all the beautiful architecture and buildings. It's so nice. This corner of Italy is pretty great, if I do say so. I wanted to show you, if we head down here, goodness, the, well, I don't want to go too far. Where's the slideshow? You know, Google Earth, if you're not loading the pictures, if you're not doing that, then you're just not loading the places I want to show you. Yeah, this isn't it. You know what, Google Earth? You know what, Google Earth? I'm getting a little, come on. It's right here. Do I have to zoom in closer? Okay, we're getting there. Close enough. We'll take this. The Cilento. Pruno's the forest in the Cilento region. Close enough. Okay. Well, I wanted to show you the slideshow for the Cilento National Park, but it's not popping up. It's straight up not. It's straight up. You know what? What if? Let's take a look at this one. Let's take a look at this. Couldn't. Oh, it's only 3 pictures. But yeah, there's the mountains. Apparently, Google Earth says we can't look at the Cilento, so that's a bummer. Let's head over to Caserta, because I promised you a castle in Caserta. You can see it from here. So, like, here's the castle, here's the garden, and then this is all this fountain garden area up into this hillside. It's a little extra, but let's peek inside. Yes, that's the slideshow I want. There's quite a few. Look at that's too much. It's too extravagant. It's too much. But it's beautiful, isn't it? It is pretty remarkable. Where's the sad lions? Oh wow, look at this. What's up with all the weird dioramas here? All these cool fountains. People are really into their dioramas. He's sad. He's kind of bummed. What's he stepping on? The crown? He squish. Maybe it hurts. But yeah, this place is insane. Insanely beautiful. Oh. Big gardens. Let's pick a random fountain down here. Let's look at this one. This is pretty cool. The Fountain of Aeolus. Yeah, that's gorgeous, isn't it? What do you do with all this space? I guess you look at it, but like look at it going up into the hillside. I guess you come and just enjoy it, but there's so much. How could you admire this much park in one day? They got fishies in the fountain. Big fishies in the fountain. Yeah, you gotta take this horse-drawn carriage just to see it all. It's pretty massive, but very beautiful. Google Earth is now crashing. You know, Google, you're really testing me today. You're really pushing it. But you know what? At least things are loading, you know? We're crashing now. Google Earth is crashing out. I might be crashing out. There we go. We're back. Goodness. Okay, what else did I need to show you? Oh, the island stuff. Capri. Which hopefully all of us have had some Capri Sun in our childhood. Delicious. Which is just little juice boxes in these little pouches. It's very, well, they're still around, but I feel like they're a very 90s thing. And you had to shove, it was like a pouch, and you have to shove your straw into it. And when you're like a little kid, it's really hard to do, and it like gets everywhere. But then once you finally master shoving the straw into the Capri Sun, you feel like a grown-up. It's like the first act as a grown kid. You're able to open your own Capri Sun. I don't know, what should we look at here? There's so much. Let's look at this town, Marina Grande. That's perfect. It's exactly what I wanted to show you. That's so stunning. So beautiful. Gosh, the air here must feel incredible. The water must be amazing to swim in. Perfect Mediterranean. I don't think you can get any more perfect except in like Greece, right? Oh, that water looks so inviting. Beautiful. Then over here is Ischia. Don't think it's gonna let me see the slideshow of just the island. No. So let's look at the town. You can see the Aragonese area there. Look how gorgeous. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Ooh, nice pool. Yeah, this nice little mishmash of architecture here. Really cool. Oh my gosh, I want to go here now. I would like to swim here, please. Cool, look at the old wall. That's neat. Neat. Alright. Gosh, there's so many things to look at here. What else should I show you before we go? Do you think that the park slideshow is loaded now? No. You know, I'm not happy about it, but that's okay. Because we can look at this national park. Yeah. That's not a park. These are buildings. But look at this. Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Big rolling mountains. Looks a little like, let's say those look like mountains back there, but I think they're clouds. That's really pretty. Oops. Gorge. Beautiful. Look at that view. I feel like I'm forgetting something really important to show you. Hey guys, I'm editing and realized I forgot to show you Paestum. Paestum is just outside. Wait, this is really hard to see. Salerno, right here. And it's really beautiful. Check these out. Like what a photo, right? Those clouds are amazing. But yeah, these artifacts are so, look at this, that's amazing. Wow. Diving in. These are just incredibly preserved. I mean, obviously not perfect, but they're no Roman ruins are, right? Anyway, beautiful, gorgeous. I can't believe I forgot to show you guys this. It's so pretty. And there's a bunch of other slideshows here if you guys want to check it out. But yeah, that was all. Back to the video. I mean, Pompeii's the most important thing, followed by like Naples, of course. You know, why don't we wrap this up here before Google Earth flips out even more? Oh, I did mean to show you Benevento. Benevento's really beautiful. Look at that. Old ancient architecture. Well, I will say, if you want to see even more old ruins, even more than Pompeii, be sure to subscribe, because tomorrow, this is a different outro, but tomorrow we're going to Mexico, and we're going to see so many Mayan ruins. There's so many in this region we're going to, including a very famous one that's a UNESCO site, so be sure to subscribe so you won't miss out. But thank you so much for watching. Sorry that Google Earth was chaotic, but sometimes you guys like the chaos, so I don't... It makes me, I mean, feel like I'm not doing a good job, but you guys like it, so okay. But look at this sweet lion. This lion's happy. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please consider subscribing, as this is an ongoing series. We're heading to Mexico next. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational. Well, that's cool. Little horses. Our tags. And I hope that you have a good night. It's still okay. You know what? It's fine. Just I took a Tai Chi class, and she's like, if you ever just need to let go of stress, you just flick it out. And I'm like, that's